morning. This is continuation of your chapter, Age of Industrialization. Now, the migration of workers. Here we have seen, or now also you can see in everyday newspaper, that workers are migrating from one place to another, and sometimes they are going to their native place during harvest and festivals. And when the news of employment spread, workers travel great distances in the hope of work in the mills. Now, after that it comes jobbers. Who are the jobbers? Jobbers are the people, those who used to bring the villagers, maybe their own relation or they are from his native village. He used to bring them in the city, provide them food and shelter, and sometimes help them with the money if they need, and he used to promise them job. And they sometimes became authority of them. Now, peculiarities of industrial growth. European managing agencies were interested in industrial product which they could export. Now they established tea, coffee plantation and invested in mining, indigo and jute. Their products were not for sale in India. When Indian businessmen began setting up industries in the late 19th century, they tried to avoid this competition with Manchester goods. The yarn produced in India spinning mill was coarse and was used by handloom weavers of our country or exported only to China. By the first decade of 20th century, series of changes affected the pattern of industrialization. Now, Indian industrialists, how they recaptured the home market. When Swadeshi movement became stronger, the nationalist leader then urged the people to boycott foreign goods. We read in national movement. Now, industrialist groups pressurized the government to increase tariff protection and grant other concessions. From 1906, export of Indian yarn to China declined as the produce of China and Japan flooded the Chinese market. Industrialists in India started cotton cloth production, and this production doubled between 1900 and 1912. Till the First World War, industrial growth was slow, very slow. The British mills were busy producing war goods for the army. Thus, Manchester imports into India declined. Suddenly, Indian mills had a vast home market to supply. New factories set up, old ones ran multiple shifts. Now, over the war years, industrial productions boomed. Indian factories were making jute bags, cloth for army uniforms, tents, leather boots, horse and mule saddles. After the war, Britain could never recapture its position in Indian market. Britain could not compete with US, Germany and Japan, and the economy of Britain collapsed after the year. Now, small-scale industries predominate. Large industries were mainly located in Bengal and Bombay and formed only a small segment of the economy. Now, over the rest of the country, small-scale production continued to predominate. Only 10% of the total industrial labor force worked in registered factories in 1931. The rest worked in small workshops and household units. Handicrafts production actually expanded in the 20th century. Handicrafts people adopted new technology like fly shuttle. It improved the production without excessively pushing up cost. What is a fly shuttle? It is a mechanical device used for weaving moved by means of ropes and pulleys. Now, what was the role of weavers in this case? Now, among weavers, some produced coarse cloth with others who wove finer qualities. The coarse cloth was purchased by the poor. Its demand fluctuated due to bad harvest or famines. In times of bad harvest and famines, poor people could not buy cloth as they had little to eat. Now, the finer varieties were bought by the rich, elite people. Famines did not affect the sale of fine varieties such as Baluchari and Banarasi sarees. Further, meal could not imitate the intricate designs of the weavers. Weavers and other craftspeople lived hard lives. Now, market for goods, advertisement, labeling and calendars. These were used to popularize products by both British and Indian manufacturers. Advertisement through newspaper, magazines and hoardings were used by the producers to expand their market. So, advertisements played a very significant role in this. Now, initial stages of advertising in India, when Manchester industrialists began selling clothes in India, they put labels on the cloth bundles made in Manchester. Sometimes the images of Indian gods, goddesses that I have mentioned in my previous class, they used to use those as labels, which make the product manufactured from a foreign land appear somewhat familiar to Indian people. By the 19th century, manufacturers were printing calendars. Now, papers, unlike newspapers and magazines, calendars also they are used as advertisement. Besides the images of gods, sometimes figures of important persons, emperors, they used to put in the advertisement in calendars, and this denoted the message that the quality of the product cannot be questioned. Advertisement sometimes became a vehicle of the nationalist message of Swadeshi. Now, to conclude this chapter, now major technical changes, growth of factories and the making of a new industrial labor force, in this age only this happened. That is the age of industrialization. Now, small scale production and hand technology also played a key role in the industrial landscape. This is all for today. Now, next class I will give you some dates, important dates you will learn, and then I will give you questions with answers. And you have your book, so you can try your NCERT folder questions.